Maya was a little girl with bright eyes and a curious heart. She had just moved to a small village with her parents. Their new house was old, made of red bricks and covered in climbing plants. It stood quietly at the edge of a forest where birds sang and butterflies danced. Everything was new for Maya. New roads, new neighbors, and a new room of her own. She missed her old friends, but she was also excited to explore. One morning, after breakfast, Maya looked out the window and saw a strange gate behind their backyard. It was made of iron and half covered with moss. Behind the gate was a place that looked like a garden, but it was hidden under wild trees and thick vines. "Mom, what's that place?" Maya asked. Her mother came to the window and smiled. "Oh, that old garden. It came with the house. The man who lived here before used to take care of it, but now it's just overgrown. You can explore it if you like, but be careful." Maya's eyes sparkled. A garden. A secret one. She decided she would go see it the next day. The next morning, Maya put on her little green boots and tiptoed outside. The sun was warm, and birds chirped softly. She walked through the grass until she stood in front of the rusty gate. With a slow creak, the gate opened. Inside, the air felt different. Cooler. Quieter. The garden was wild, but beautiful. Ivy curled around stone walls. Trees bent gently as if whispering to each other. Flowers of strange colors peeked out between ferns. She took a step forward, and something amazing happened. The leaves above her head began to rustle gently, even though there was no wind. It sounded almost like words. "Wash." "Maya," she froze. "Did someone say my name?" She whispered. The leaves danced again. "Wash." "Magic." "Watch." Maya looked around. She was alone, but the garden seemed alive. At the center of the garden stood a very old tree. Its bark was silver gray and thick like elephant skin. Its branches were wide and strong, and its leaves shimmered in the sunlight. As Maya walked closer, she noticed something strange. Tiny lights floated in the air, like fireflies, but they didn't blink. They just hovered, glowing gently. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed from the tree, "Welcome, little gardener." Maya jumped back. "Who's there?" "I am the whispering tree," said the voice. "You can hear me because you believe in wonder." Maya blinked. "You can talk." "Yes," the tree replied. "Long ago, this garden was filled with magic. But it was forgotten. You, Maya, have the heart of a listener. That is rare." Maya stepped forward. "What do you mean?" "There is magic in this garden," said the tree. "But it sleeps. If you help the garden grow again, the magic will return." Maya felt a mix of fear and joy. "What do I need to do?" "Come here each day. Care for the flowers. Listen to the wind. Plant kindness, and watch what grows." Maya nodded slowly. "Okay. I will." Each day after school, Maya returned to the garden. She brought a small watering can, some gloves, and a basket. She picked up fallen branches, watered dry flowers, and cleared away weeds. As she worked, the garden began to change. The colors of the flowers grew brighter. The vines loosened their grip on the walls. The air smelled sweet and warm. Every evening, Maya sat beneath the whispering tree and listened. Some days the leaves whispered songs. Other days they told her stories about the animals that used to live in the garden, or about the boy who planted the first seeds long ago. Then one afternoon, Maya found a tiny wooden door behind the rose bushes. It was carved into the trunk of an old tree stump. She knelt beside it. "What's this?" The whispering tree replied, "That is the door to the keeper's house. He is the guardian of this garden's magic. But he has been asleep for many years." "Can I wake him?" she asked. "If you can grow the golden bloom," the tree said, "it will awaken him." Maya asked, "Where can I find the golden bloom?" "You must grow it," said the tree. "The seed lies hidden beneath the roots of the singing fern. Water it with laughter. Feed it with kindness. Light it with hope." Maya didn't understand completely, but she smiled and said, "I'll try." The next day, she followed the soft singing sound in the garden and found a fern that shimmered with blue-green leaves. She gently dug beneath it and found a small, glowing seed. She planted it in a sunny patch near the center of the garden. Every day, she watered it and sang to it. She told it stories, made silly faces, and laughed. She invited her parents to visit the garden and help her pick weeds. She shared cookies with the birds and left tiny letters for the butterflies, and slowly, the seed grew. One morning, Maya ran into the garden and stopped in surprise. A tall plant had grown where she planted the seed. At the top was a glowing golden flower with petals like soft fire and a center that pulsed with warm light. She touched it gently, the light grew brighter. And the little wooden door in the tree stump creaked open. Out stepped a tiny man, no taller than a flower pot. He wore a cloak made of leaves and a crown of petals. His beard was made of moss. And his eyes sparkled like stars. "Who dares wake the keeper?" he grumbled. Maya giggled. "I did. I'm Maya." The keeper looked at her with a tilted head. "You brought magic back, child. The garden thanks you." He tapped the ground with his tiny walking stick. "Come. You have much to learn." The keeper taught Maya the language of leaves, the way to sing to flowers, and how to speak with bees. He showed her where fairies once danced and where the night lilies bloomed under the moon. Maya learned that kindness and curiosity were the most powerful magic of all. She even began writing her own little book of garden spells. Not spells with fancy words, but simple ones like, "Smile at the rain. Say thank you to the sun. Help a lost worm find the soil. Sing to seeds before planting them." She read the book to the whispering tree, who was very pleased. One day, dark clouds gathered over the village. A cold wind blew through the trees, and the birds stopped singing. Maya rushed to the garden, but something was wrong. The flowers had wilted. The golden bloom had lost its glow. The whispering tree was silent. "What's happening?" she asked the keeper. He looked up with worried eyes. "There is trouble. The old sadness is returning. Someone in the village is hurting. And the garden feels it." Maya thought for a moment, then ran out of the gate. She went door to door asking if anyone needed help. At the edge of the village, she met an old woman who sat alone on her porch. "My grandson moved away," the woman said softly. "He used to plant flowers with me, but now I'm too tired." Maya smiled gently. "Come with me." She led the woman to the garden. Maya gave the old woman her hand and guided her through the gate. When the woman saw the faded flowers, her eyes filled with tears. "This place reminds me of my own garden," she whispered. she knelt and touched the soil. Maybe I can plant again. The keeper peeked from behind a tree stump. A new heart? A helper? He smiled. As the old woman planted a tiny purple flower, a breeze moved through the trees. The leaves whispered again. The color returned to the flowers. The golden bloom flickered back to life. The whispering tree spoke once more. Magic grows best when it is shared. From that day forward, Maya invited others to the garden. Children painted rocks with kind words. Neighbors brought flower seeds. A father and daughter made a bird bath together. The garden came alive, not just with magic, but with people. One evening, the whispering tree called Maya beneath its wide branches. "You have done more than awaken the garden," it said. "You have awakened hearts." The tree lowered one of its branches, and hanging from it was a small charm, a silver leaf on a string. "This is your gift," said the tree. "Wear it when you want to remember the magic inside you." Maya put the charm around her neck and smiled. "Thank you. Will I always be able to hear you?" she asked. The tree's leaves rustled softly. "If you listen with your heart, I will always whisper." Many years passed. Maya grew up, but she never forgot the garden. She still visited often, now with children of her own. The garden had grown into a beautiful space filled with color, laughter, and love. The whispering tree stood tall, watching over everyone. The keeper still popped out now and then to tell jokes or teach new garden tricks. And every now and then, when the wind was just right, Maya could still hear her name, whispered through the leaves.